And hello, welcome to the season finale of Thrones and Bones, Norrøngard. I am Friday. This is Wonderful Cast. Say hello, Wonderful Cast.
Hey,
Hello,
wonderful
wonderful
cast.
Oh, that joke, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Wow.
We worked on this.
Oh,
Expect anything less
jeez.
from us.
Wow. Budget introduction. Okay, so we're gonna
It's a
have
British thing.
No, it's because of the time delay. It's because of the time zone change.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
meant.
I'm
It's a
6
British
hours
thing.
behind you guys.
Yeah. If you would like to hit us with the recap, please. Today would be Adina, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So the party comes to Jotunhall, the icy walls causing all but Talami to feel the cold pull at their skin, thanks to the ring of warmth. The party is approximately 2 hours away from the meeting place, but Tulami leads the way, unflinchingly leaping from stone to stone across the chasm in front of the party. Sighild also succeeds in her athletics check, but Bjorn, Toki, and Ectelina all end up under the ice into the freezing water below, bitten by little poisonous ice fish. Sighild managed to help everyone across, and we made our way through the cave. The bats are unnerving, but they were thankfully weak 1 HP bats meant to gaslight us into thinking we're safe. We discussed our thoughts on taking time to think about the consequences of our actions, and then proceeded. We entered a cavern with blue crystal lights, the 5 statues of the elvish patrons standing in the room, the ancestor spirits of the elves. Nastia Greenmother and Malice Underfoot were the 2 most recognizable to members of the party. Sacrifices were made to these statues, or not, and blessings and consequences were bestowed accordingly, Malice being particularly upset that he was overlooked by the Svaltvar passing through. In the next chamber, a flat stalactite dominates the space, with the 2 Svaltvar agents standing up top, waiting for our arrival. As we discuss strategy, Tulami gets annoyed with his former clanmates with their relative dismissal of the surface world and their evident lack of distaste with the Svaltvar way of life. Ectelina told a short story of a fox who burned down someone's home and gave Tulami inspiration, but this just caused the Svaltvar to question our abilities more. Between their arrogant attitude and condescending quips, Tulami began to think that this may be a lost cause, until they realized that Svaltvar agents riding giant lizards were just around the corner, and initiative began. A thrilling battle ensues, with the party once again hanging on to their HP for dear life. Tulami immediately works on getting himself a lizard mount, while the rest of the party fought the beasts and realized they were much stronger than us significantly. Once we targeted the agents rather than the beasts, the party began to see much better results. Tulami grabs Dithra and helps her onto his lizard, casting fairy fire on the rest of the agents, making it much easier for the party to make their marks hit the opponents. By the time all but 1 Svaltvar agent was dead, the last one ran, and the party ended the session, ready to avoid further reinforcements coming to catch the ones whom they protect.
So, we've just exited combat, and the Svaltivar threat, for the time being, has been defeated. What are you all doing?
Get the heck out of here.
Yeah, I'm looking for the exit that isn't the sneakiest exit.
I think there's maybe one exit.
Yeah, we have to
No.
get back to the arrow first, so before they do. Presuming that they know we're headed that way, which I just assumed to me that they do.
Would
Oh.
they? I don't
Can't
know
put
if
anything
they would
past them.
follow us or if they would go to the Lita first. So we might have a little time.
Perhaps it's just best to head back the way we came.
I mean, it's just one guy. If we see him, we can.
Finish it.
Ooh.
But he
Let's
might
go.
be getting reinforcements, so I think we should get going.
Yeah, I
Right,
agree.
you're right. Let's go.
I'm still riding that lizard as long as I can.
Is the female Svaltivar on with you?
Unless she got off. But yeah, I think so.
Cool.
So you all make your way through the cavern. You're going the same way that you had arrived, right? You just want to go the same path?
I think the only difference we are going to make is probably once we get outside the cavern so that we avoid the troll that we tricked. But cavern-wise, I think, yes, going back the exact same way.
Okay. Whoever's leading, go ahead and roll me a survival check, please.
I have Dethro, so I would be in the back. I'd be near the back.
Oh, I thought you would lead in the cave, given because Talami obviously would know cave navigation a bit better than Sven. Sten is much more confident outside in the wilderness, but
I mean, I'm on top of the lizard. I'll just give directions.
I'll totally take the wheel if you want me to. It's fine.
I can also
Okay.
either. It's
Oh, you took me up on that. That was a foolish, empty offer.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Kale, are you offering to navigate?
I was just saying I could also help.
Someone
Okay.
please roll
I'll
survival.
do it.
23.
It looks
Will
like
be me.
Turkey
Thank you.
is going to take charge.
Okay. As Toki forges ahead, complaining about the rest of his party.
God
Yeah, that
damn.
tracks.
Son of a.
Yeah, you make good time, and you actually find a path that will allow you to not cross over the frozen lake. So in a couple of hours, you start to see daylight once again as you emerge from the cave, and once again you enter the Jotunhol, the canyons through the mountains that will lead you back to Midgard. If we are shifting who is going to be leading at this point, I will need the new navigator to roll survival on that.
Do we spot the Lenorm from because we spotted it right before we entered? Is it still visible in the sky?
Like the way you're smiling.
Go ahead and roll perception.
Okay, I'm pretty good at that. 15.
You look up into the sky and you see parting between the clouds is a bit of something that's not quite a cloud. You can't quite tell what it is from this distance.
So as they exit and from the cave into the daylight, Toki's blinking and rubbing his eyes, adjusting to the to the light. He's gonna point up into the clouds. Remember that Lenorm we saw coming in here. We're gonna have to make sure we're very careful coming down this mountain.
Art.
Right.
So what should we do?
right.
Just stick to the walls or the
Well-
mountainside?
The woods? I can go into the woods.
We should avoid the open sky as much as possible.
We should go
Blimey.
into the woods.
Yeah, I agree with Lena. I think we should go into the woods.
on
Well-
foot, Talami.
Oh, I have to get off?
Yeah. Well, it's a very large,
He slides off. With
If you-
helping Dethra as well, if she needs it.
If you'd like to redirect yourselves, as in travel east down the mountain as opposed to south towards Nilfgaard, it'll probably add an extra day to your journey.
So that's through the woods.
Well,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Isn't that Lena? You were asking me about something the other day. Something about those fey creatures. What are they called again?
I don't think I know what you mean.
Oh. Well, never mind. I think it's in this forest somewhere. Maybe we'll come across it.
Are you talking about the house of the Ultra?
Oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah. I think it's somewhere near here.
Oh, you think it's in what direction?
In the forest.
Well, this
So
argument's
forest.
going on. Sten's going to use his dagger to cut the harness off of the giant lizard before sort of giving it a skedaddle to let it loose. Go, you're free now.
There's no sort
Nope.
of time restriction, right? We weren't supposed to be back by the Jarl in a certain amount of time, right? It's just as soon as we can get them back.
Yeah, I think he just wants them back alive.
Yeah.
I think he
don't
might
know.
think we're dead if we don't get back on time.
Like,
That's
I
two
don't think he
problems
really
solved.
cares if we
That's
die,
fine.
but it's a bonus if we don't.
All I'm
Turkeys.
saying is, if it adds a day and we don't really need to be anywhere anytime fast, and it's safer, it might be worth a shot.
I mean, last time Toki did die, so
The forest will
Oh,
help
that's
help
not
us
to say-
against the bats as well.
And
If they're patrolling on those things, then we really need to get out of sight.
Yeah.
but that's not to say that the forest isn't filled with dangerous things either. But
Well,
either way,
Sighild can talk to animals now for like,
Oh,
Oh,
that's right.
talk to the lizard.
it ran away.
Oh,
Gone already. Oh, damn.
but I only have one use of it as far as I'm aware, so. But I do agree, I think maybe taking the longer route and going through the forest to avoid a little very clear danger might be the best idea.
That
agreed.
and the troll.
Into the
Remember
forest.
how you did him dirty.
Ooh.
Let's go. We're in the open.
And so we shuffle into the forest stealthily.
Okay.
you just tell the troll that he broke it and that you're not liable for it.
His
Not
warranty
covered
was
in his
expired.
warranty.
He didn't read the fine print. It's his fault.
Let us get our lawyer goblin involved.
These poor dark elves are probably just like, what the hell did we get ourselves into with this group?
I think the same thing all the time, but then I remember that I also am like that.
So the path leading you down the slope will actually bring you to the coastline. And then as you wind your way around, you can see that the path itself is a little treacherous, and it's not meant to be traveled by most people. So as you make your way down, you see the ocean, the Serpent's Gulf, out in front of you, which opens up into the cold sea. From the, as you're looking at it, to the east is the Serpent's Gulf, and then south, and then sort of west is the cold sea itself. And you reach a point where you start skirting along the mountainside, and I need a survival check from whomever is leading this expedition.
Sten will go to the front unless anybody stopped him because he loves being outdoors. So I'll definitely give it a go. And fail. That's an 8.
And here's where we all die. After all of that, we die because we fell off. a
Where
mountain.
you guys die because Toki can turn into a bird.
Well, hey, it'll be the opposite of last time, where we all
You-
die and you survive.
So
can
you
carry
just see
our
Toki
body.
in like a fish boat, like trying to find your corpses at the bottom of the ocean.
As you make your way south now, you begin passing spruce, pine, and birch trees that blend in with the cliffside itself, as though someone had taken the woods and then chopped into it with an axe and shoved it to one side. It's quite dense with foliage on this path, and you are presented with several different offshoots of paths that lead to caves. And Sten leads you to one such cave off the main beaten path.
So here we are, Jotunhall. Wait, no, we weren't going. I have found us shelter for the night. No, that's not. I don't say that. Obviously, no, I'm completely lost.
Oh,
Mm.
well, that's okay. The best thing to do when you've made a mistake is to admit that you made the mistake, and then we can move on from there. So, who has a better idea of where we're going?
Hmm.
Toki, don't you seem to know this area?
Well, at one point, maybe I can maybe try and pinpoint where we are.
Only there was these trees everywhere. I can't see where we're going. Wish we were on a hill or something.
Each tree looks the same, I get it. It's easy to get lost in the woods.
I think it's really pretty here. I like the trees. That one has white bark, you see? It looks very nice with the orange leaves. You
I
see?
could, well, let's try this. I could maybe turn into a bird and fly around and see where we are. Come back and plot a route from there.
I think that would be really helpful, actually. But be careful flying too high, just in case.
Oh, the Linorm, yeah. Okay. All right, let's see. Let me see what kind of flying creatures I can turn it to.
Maybe we
just a
got lost.
seagull.
Maybe we should have made maybe we should have left some food out for the spirits, so they wouldn't the witches and make us all lost.
I'm sure.
Oh, witches.
All right, so Toki will exit the cave, and I will take my staff and clap it together and shapeshift into a giant owl once again. And I will fly into the air and see if I can get a lay of the land and what direction we need to head to get to the forest.
To the forest. So as you sort of spy from, you said what creature was it? I'm sorry, a raven?
A giant owl.
A giant owl. Okay. As you spy above, you can see that you're along the coastline, and the forest itself is like miles to the northeast. So there are trees along the coastline, but you're still in the mountains.
Okay. Am I able to like plot us a path through from what I can see?
Yeah, it looks like it's fairly easy to tell where to go from up above. It's just that Sven got momentarily turned around and was bringing you back into the depths of the caverns through Jotunhall.
Got it. Okay. So after a survey, Tokyo will return and break out of his shapeshift, and he just kind of feels a little weird, and finds feathers stuck to him in places, and then he'll hobble back to the group and explain the situation. And
We're not
trying-
even lost. This is a brand new cave.
But he'll try and explain the situation and plot us on the correct path.
Okay. So the lot of you spend the next few hours traveling, and most of the day, in fact, as it grows quite late, before you start to hear and start to see some of the activity from Norrøngard. First, the farms, and then an hour or so later, as you are passing along, you start to see Norrøngard itself along the peninsula, and some of the ships and the docks in the southeast corner of that peninsula. And as you're moving along, one of the defectors looks to you, Deethra, looks to you all and says, I'm really interested in how it is that they live here. It's all farmers, is it?
All the regular kinds of people: fisher people, weavers, crafters, soldiers, jarls.
The kind of acolyte that what gives you a little scroll to deliver and you bring it and it goes boom.
Mostly
The normal
farmers,
type
yes.
of people, yes, farmers.
Yeah, the way
I
that
think they're saying that there's good people and there's traitors. Just like every society.
Oh. What do you think that we could do here?
Well, what
You
Whatever
like
you-
farming?
what
Mm.
skills do you have outside of Well,
I was going to say you might want to be careful with that question.
that's fair.
Well, if
Do
you're
you like-
anything like the boy here, you could become adventurers or maybe knives for hire and see the world. You elves are crafty creatures. I'm sure you'll figure something out.
I don't know about Terelia, but I don't think that I want to do that. I'd rather do something else. I'd rather.
Well, there are bakers, fishers, there are
Bakers.
farmers, and jewel makers. Well, jewelry makers, and then there's woodcrafters and woodsmen. And
Pottery. Yeah,
there's
do you have a
lots of
hobby?
things.
You like to write? Lena writes. You could write tales.
Oh, that's right.
You can
Night
even make
Watchman.
the stories up.
Yeah, it's
You
They
could
don't have to
completely
be
wing
true.
them. Yeah. They don't even have to be true. How cool is that?
You can tell
You-
lies for a living.
You live a whole life as a liar, and people like you.
Oh, so many people like me. It's ridiculous.
It's called entertainment.
Oh,
Yes, there's stories that you tell around a fire or a mead house, and everyone is drunk and they want to hear a fancy tale about a Lenorm slaying elf, and so we tell these stories. And
And you can
Lena,
kill off as many people as you want, and it
Yeah.
actually hurts nobody.
That's not the lesson to take away from this. Just want to throw that out there.
I do think it's a very good point, though. You don't hurt anybody, except
And
maybe
you
their
can let
feelings
out
a
all
little
of your
bit.
aggression. I don't know, it helps me.
I
As we
think
were,
killing Lenorms helps you.
as we were sort of mentioning different sort of things, could I use insight to see if any of their sort of attention was drawn to any particular one? Because I know that they seem to be getting overwhelmed at the moment with lots of different suggestions.
yeah. Go ahead and roll insight. Yeah.
11. So unless it's very plain on the face, I guess.
Deethra was particularly interested when someone mentioned Baker.
So Sten's we're gonna stop. I guess we're on like an overlooking the sort of farmlands and stuff. Is there any mills or anything like a windmill or where grain is milled?
You can see that. Oh, that's my child. Rowan, go back.
So Sten will point out as I try and use his shield to block the sun as it sort of shines down to give him a bit of shade. And he'll point out the windmill and say, "Look, that's. Do you have a grain underground?"
Oh, we do. I don't think bread was one of my favorite things. We didn't get a lot to eat, unless we had done particularly well, and sometimes there was bread and meat. So, and I'm just remembering one of my favorite things growing up was warm bread. So I was just thinking about that.
there's lots of kinds of bread. My favorite is sweet bread. Oh, it's just so buttery and oh.
What do you put in sweet bread?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not a baker.
Oh.
But it
Such
tastes
like
good.
an old person thing to say.
I had a sweetbread once. Shortly after I came up to the surface, it had different kinds of nuts and raisins, like dried grapes. But I didn't really like it. I feel bad suggesting it since I didn't think it was good, but you might.
No.
Have you ever had cakes?
No. What is cake? I've heard of it, but I don't think I've
It
had
is
any
a
before.
deliciously sweet baked good. We actually had some very little ones back at the Jarl's when he had us for dinner. maybe you can try it there, see if that's something you like. I know a lot of bakers are big into the sweets, but also if you like bread, then I would say look into apprenticing at a bakery. That sounds like a very lovely little job.
You know, I just got a house that I'm not planning on staying in right now. If you'd like, maybe you could start a bakery. Try to. I don't know. Someone will teach you. I can't teach you. I'm sorry. I can't offer you that. But if you wanted to,
You have a home.
yes, kind
It's-
of.
Is it
I
a
was to save you, and then I would get this house.
is it a communal space? What do you mean you have a home?
Well, I was just going to offer it to you. Well, I literally just got it. I don't even have the title yet, but it was promised to me.
Salami.
Yes.
I think, yeah, there's each of those houses, Sten says, pointing out with Talami, and a different family, like your mother and your father and your siblings, they all have each one of those. It's kind of like I guess a chamber under the ground, Talami. Is that how it works?
I mean, yeah, we did have a very communal way of living. No, like, I'm not asking you to live with us. I'm offering you a space to sell bread out of.
Oh,
Because we haven't actually moved in. It's empty. But if you would
Right.
like help in starting to get on your feet, make some money.
I suppose me and Terrell would need a place to live and work. Yes. That sounds.
Unless you have a lot saved up, but I'm assuming you didn't.
No, we don't have any money.
Toki looks past Deidre and at Tyrell and kind of scratches his chin. What about you? You've been awfully quiet. What are you imagining for yourself?
I suppose I haven't really decided.
Do you have any hobbies?
No.
What did the two
Well-
of you do when you were in the Sveltafar?
I we were agents. We did agent work.
You know, secrets are fine. They're okay. We don't need to find out everything. You bake bread. I hear that Midgard has a nice pumpernickel recipe that is local and tastes very good.
And who knows? The Jarl asked us to come get you. Maybe he has some ideas for what you could do. Might have some work for you and whatnot in the city.
Oh, the Jarl asked
Johan,
us.
I don't think you realize that that's not comforting to hear.
Well, I mean, they were asking about jobs. I mean, Jarl knows best what jobs need to be done. He might have some suggestions or whatnot.
And y'all did say he wanted to see them.
That's true. That's where we're
So I
taking
guess
them
we
to
can't
begin
really
with.
get
I mean, they were the ones who
Right.
contacted the Jarl, from what we understand, right?
GM, is the face you're making indicative of the face that they would be making?
Mrs. Deethra.
Ooh, What-
Do you have problem going to the Jarl Ditra?
I was just thinking that I'm a bit frightened of meeting the Jarl because of.
Well, y'all are
What if-
just men like anybody else.
Well, where
Don't
would
have
you?
any-
You don't have to go anywhere you don't want to. Talami might not get the house, but we can easily find a boat that'll take us somewhere else.
You could always stay at the bakery house thing that I don't know what we're doing with it for sure, but you could always stay there with Tulami or with one of us, and the rest of us could go talk to the Jarl so that you have someone to protect you in case they come and follow us to the city. And then also we could just talk to the Jarl for you, and maybe you can avoid all of that.
I think the Jarl just wanted to meet you and make sure you're okay folk, and that this wasn't some kind of a ploy to get inside the city and
Deliver a letter that blows up.
I mean, the fear is much what you fear from us, we fear from you. So it's just a misunderstanding of intentions, and if we can get that cleared up, everything should be hunky-dory.
and you have us to back you up.
That's true.
Other Svoltvar came after you very clearly. You fought against them, so I think it's pretty clear that you aren't with them. I would say, at least. So I would gladly defend you.
And you know that we're on your side, as we clearly fought for you.
I know I'm a bit flabbergasted. It's everything, really. I
get it.
I can't imagine all of this, and I think you know, Chulami. I think you know it. It's hard to imagine all of this. I think I will take some time to really digest and sit on this and to fully understand everything. But yeah, okay. That's it. That's all.
So you're good coming with us to the Jarl, though. You're okay with that?
I don't. The Jarl wanted to see us, so I don't. I am not under the impression that I am, or we are, anything but beholden. We are beholden to the Jarl. Yes, I understand.
Okay, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer here, my new friend, but you realize that if you run, right? I know it might be scary, but if you run away from us, you're completely on your own out here, and then you won't have any help, and we're not going to go hunt you down and bring you back a second time because that would waste a lot of time.
I thank you for telling us that, but no, I don't think me and Terrell would want that kind of life anyway. I mean, I don't know what life was like for you, Tulami, but I think for us, at least for me, I don't speak for Terrell, but I think it would be not much of a life. And I have been around people all of my life, and I cannot imagine being on the road again and not being somewhere where I could be giving something, and I don't know. I just want a home.
You'll get one. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
DM.
Yeah.
What time of day is it?
It is getting on in the evening.
And about how far from the city are we?
You are about half an hour away as you make your way up
Half an hour, okay.
the cliffside towards the longhouse itself, which is a trek by itself. It's quite a ways up. It's about 1,000 feet up the cliffside from the streets.
An hour uphill.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Time to get our cardio in.
My man sure knows how to build sites.
All right,
Cool.
well, Never mind. I was going to suggest maybe we rest a little before going into town, but here we are. So,
Now, battered and bruised, we arrive.
You're always so cheerful. It's just nice.
You know, there's a lot to be happy about.
I believe you.
Look at Bjorn. Look at his face.
Oh,
See, look at it. It's fine. Things are going to be all right.
Okay.
Don't worry though, Toki balances
Oh,
it all
don't
out.
cry. Don't cry. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to make you sad.
I'm not crying.
You look like oh God. You know, you're not crying.
I'm not crying.
I looked at the sun. My eyes are weird. You're not crying because
Right.
you're fine, and this is all good. And you know, it might seem overwhelming. I know you're not overwhelmed because you're Svatvar and you're never overwhelmed. But if you were,
I'm strong. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
strong.
you're very strong. If you
Very
were
strong.
crying right now, it wouldn't even be that big of a deal. I know you're not,
Right.
but it wouldn't be a super big deal. You know, it'd be okay.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
It's a whole lot to
Yeah.
deal with in one day.
I cry all the time.
It's
crying is
true.
a
In
very
his sleep,
strong
I
and
sleep next to him.
healthy thing to do.
No, I'm fine. I'm ready.
You know,
Ooh.
you have your friends, and you have us, and you have a new home if you want to stay there. And if you don't, that's okay too. And no one's gonna hurt you anymore.
Mhm.
Okay. And you all make your way up to the longhouse, which you see is, if I can remember where I placed it, uno momento.
While you're pulling that up,
Yeah.
while we enter, Seakild is going to keep an eye out for anybody who might be missing a gold earring.
Yo, my children are so loud. I don't know if anybody can hear
Smash
that,
Bros is
but
just
those
on
kids
fire today.
are.
We can definitely
Whew.
hear it. It adds to the ambiance, I think. We're
It
like,
really
why is
does.
Norrøngard on fire?
I just imagine it's the sound of all the children playing in the streets of Norrøngard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That Smash Bros came out like in 2008 for the Wii, like still getting mileage. That's nice. I mean,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
Okay, so you reach the 100-foot long house, and it's set on the tongue of the rock that juts out perpendicular to the cliff face itself. And as you arrive, you see a familiar face. You see Erver, who looks over all of you and then fixes her eyes onto the two guests of yours. And the Jarl is inside, and she'll open the door for all of you.
Sten, get any readings from gonna vibe check? Gonna be like, is there any sort of what's the reaction when they saw the thing? Was it sort of a thinly veiled aggression, or was it sort of tenseness in that, or were they just sort of vaguely curious?
Hervor, that'd be definitely thinly veiled aggression.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, definitely thinly veiled aggression. Which you would be able to discern is genuinely just part of the life between these two opposed city-states. So as you step inside, you can see that the fire along the center of the longhouse is still going, and most of the population of the longhouse has been cleared out. Oh no, my tokens are tiny. A second, this map is so huge. Hold on. As I fix this real quick, you can see Run Under had probably been informed of your arrival, so now he's sitting there on the throne. And let me get people on the thing. Okay, as I fix that.
As we're walking in, Seahild is just going to put a very light hand on, oh man, already forgot their names. Hold on, wrote them down somewhere.
Dethra and Toto.
Thank you. Dethra's shoulder, just a very light, trying to comfort hand. That's all.
How does my hair look? Does it look okay?
Oh, you look as radiant as ever.
It's very good.
So Renander, when you come in, will kind of lean forward with his elbows on his knees and say, "Welcome, welcome. I see you are successful, and I'm glad for that. No one is dead. So there's that, right?"
Well, there are a lot of dead agents that tried to get us, but none of our party is dead, no.
We did a good job.
Yes, we were attacked. I suppose our new friends here, Dethra and Terrell, were chased out and attacked, and we defended. Chased out and attacked, I should say, by Svaltvar agents. And we all defended, themselves included. One of them did get away, but we were able to slay the rest of them.
I think considering the amount of danger with everything going to Jotunhol and so deep into the caverns, could not have asked for a better result. So please.
There's also something, maybe, I don't know if you already know about this, but we saw a Linerum.
You saw a Lenorm. Where did you see the Lenorm?
In the sky.
It was near the cave entrance, wasn't it?
That wasn't right outside Jotunhall. I don't know.
It was patrolling the mountains, it seemed.
Oh, interesting. Well, there are many Lenorms in the mountains. We tend to keep an eye on it, and we have some things in place that would help defend us from Lenorms, but I think for the most part, what keeps them convinced not to attack Nilmgard is we're just a little out of the way, to be quite frank, for them. We're a little farther than they'd like to fly.
Well,
Well,
that's good.
Thankfully,
If
they're
you've got
lazy.
the gold, we've slayed Lenorm before.
It's true. And
Oh.
if we didn't have a deadline of
You
bringing these
barely
lovely
made
folk
it out of
back.
that last one.
About to say, you're a brave one, Toki.
Put another Lenorm in front of me and see what happens.
You just want a one-way ticket to Valhalla.
I do. I'd like to go back very dearly.
We'll gladly do it again, is what I'm saying, if you need help. But our priority was, of course, getting these two here and to safety.
This is Dirta and Dirta.
What she
Think
means
what,
to say
Tyrell?
is this is Dethra and Tyrell.
Yep.
It's Terrell.
Thanks, Dirta.
The Jarl says to them, I am Renander the Red. Welcome to Nilmgard. Of course, you would imagine that there is a price for you to be here. So I would ask of you, What can you tell me of this fault of our ambitions and plans in the near future? And given that you do have your freedom here within Nilmgard, to you all, and then looks at the party, I am fine with my guards here in my house, Carl's. I will speak with them, and in the morning you'll be given your due payment for a successful job. Did any of you have anything to ask of me before you retire for the night? Because I have quite a few questions for Dithra and Terrell.
Well, Ezekiel's going to turn to Dithra and just lean in a bit and say, would you like one of us to stay with you just to be sure? There's nothing to worry about.
No, I
but-
I don't think that was something you can do. When the Jarl said that you're retiring, that wasn't a suggestion, it seemed like.
That's fair.
Now
but
he's
I
straight
might,
told us.
I thought I might ask in case you wanted, but that's fair. Well, I certainly can't think of anything.
Jarl, do you know anyone that wears earrings? I look very pretty today.
I'm sorry. What the? Are you?
Oh, that's right. We happened to find a yesterday an earring that was gold that somebody must have dropped. And do you know of anybody who might have lost an earring?
If you say you wear earrings, I might pass out on this longhouse floor.
Well, he tugs on one of his ears that has an earring. I do, but that is more of a.
Oh, like a light.
It is a. The Ectelina passes out. What?
Swoon. Swoon.
Oh.
Like
We
a
have-
stumble. Like a.
Do we have
Nina?
the earring with us?
I
It's-
believe
Here.
Toki has it.
Oh, I do have it. Yes, here it is.
Oh, don't put it in your shirt. Ugh.
Well, where else am I going to put it?
You give it to me.
A
Like
bag.
it's got the
She'll
rings and
take
the
it and like wipe it off and hold it out so he can see it. But not offer to hand it over quite yet. Just kind of show it off and be like, yeah, we found this and just wondering if, you know, of anybody who might have lost it. Otherwise, we were going to ask around tomorrow.
Oh, I see. I don't think I know anyone who's lost a ring. It's a fisherman thing for me. You know, sometimes if, the tales say it's a kind of a silly tale altogether, but the tales say that if you put a very fancy gold ring on your bait when you're looking for a fish, you attract a bigger one. And as a boy, I heard a story about attracting a whale with a fancy enough gold ring. So it's something that fishermen do, but it is superstition, and it's a bit silly fun, if anything. Silly fun.
Can I insight check him to see if he
is
just
single.
recognizes it at all and is just, you know, ignoring it, or
Sure.
if he's chill? Thanks. I
Sure.
appreciate you. That'll be a 9.
Hard to say.
Cool.
Hard to say.
Do the fishermen here, do they use runes at all in their baiting practices?
At times they do. It really depends on the season, but I think sometimes, sure. Yeah.
And how about these runes? And he'll pull out his scroll where he had scribbled the runes from the bedrooms
If you would please bring those to me, I will take a look.
Oh,
Yes, of course.
he'll begin to waddle up, and then Ectelina will probably snatch them out of his hand.
It read my mind.
You're very strangely eager. Have you ever done any work in a longhouse before?
No, why do you ask?
No reason. You're just very, I don't know. It's what you would call it. You're not one of those people that travels from longhouse to longhouse looking for work, are you?
Oh, no. Here's the drawings of the runes, though, and I'm gonna get a really close look at his very ringed hands to see if I can up close spot a wedding ring.
Is that
Didn't
not
we
what
cover this
adventurers
last time?
do, though? Go to
He
place
has,
to
like,
place looking for work.
8 rings. No, I could settle down. It's not that big of a deal, really.
The Jarl has a ring on every finger.
Do any of them scream, wedding?
They do not. They do
Distinctly
not. They just look like rings.
I mean,
These
So-
fake
there's no
rings are
screaming
the death of me.
rings.
As this Jarl looks over the the sketches done by, I believe, Toki, you did these, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As he looks over them, oh, I'm afraid not. I have not seen these runes in particular, but it is not to mean that they don't mean anything special, or I wouldn't be able to tell you. It has been a long time since I've had a Volva here in the longhouse to assist me,
Mm.
so I wouldn't be able to tell you directly. No, I apologize, and then he'll hand it back.
He'll kind of squint his eyes and fold them back up and put them inside of his various storage pouches hidden upon his person. Very well.
Thank you. We'll ask around the fishermen and see if maybe one of them lost it. But anyways, you have business with our new friends.
You know, actually, not that I'm dwelling on it, there's a. Let me see those sketches again.
Mm.
Yeah, there you go.
He takes a look. He kind of
I just imagine Ectelina like digging into Toki's shirt and ripping it out.
Thanks for grabbing them.
looks at the sketches and just kind of and hands them back. You're looking for Greta.
Oh, where can we find them?
Greta is a warrior that travels about, and for as much as they know about the sigils and the runes, and is quite fond of rune magic, allegedly, Greta is perhaps the most unlucky son of a bitch you've ever met.
Mm.
Why?
I need
don't
to know. What? I think I give him a run for his money.
I think you would, yeah.
That's fair.
Greta has been looking for people to help him recapture Jokel Snotter.
Gesundheit.
Some
Who's
family.
that?
Some family sword.
Oh, not my first guess.
But-
It's really good.
I can perhaps sometimes Greta has been attempting to capture the attention of those in town with that. in the hopes of perhaps convincing them to aid in his quest. So perhaps there is work for you in that.
Well, if this is his way of asking help, we haven't been completely forthright with you, but I'm sure you've figured that out. These runes were written on the walls and ceiling of 2 of our rooms in the middle of the night when somebody broke in.
It was my ceiling.
And mine, which makes me a little concerned if he was asking for help and broke into the 2 girls' rooms. I'm just thinking, you know, a little concerned about that, but
I'm not concerned at all, like anyway, in the slightest.
Based on you all being Lenorm Slayers, I think the concern would be on his behalf, if anyone's, but take with that what you will.
Absolutely, we could take this person out, I'm sure. I'm just saying I don't want to deal with a person who is any kind of a, you know, womanizer or anything. That's just my concern.
It's okay, you can womanize me, it's fine.
Talina, you're putting us behind like 50
No, I'm
years.
sorry, I'm so sorry. Feminism just went out the window. And yeah, but does that ever happen to you? You just see someone, you're like, oh, that's fine. It's all right. That's fine. That is fine.
I mean, sometimes during training with the other shield maidens, yeah, I do understand.
Me
Okay.
too. Sorry, we should
I
probably
think we
leave
should
him.
let them go.
We should
Yeah.
go.
I'm really
Yeah,
thirsty.
we need to go.
Thank
I
you
could
for your
use-
help.
I could use a drink.
I thought your face was
Over
frozen like
there,
that.
Bjorn.
No, I've just been thinking about mead
Always mead.
or
I thought
cake.
your face was frozen like this.
I don't know how long you're going to take talking to Deethra and Terrell, but Deethra, Terrell, we're staying at, and she'll describe where they're staying for the night. So if you do need us, or if you want to just stop by and say hi, that's where we are, and you can, of course, come by anytime. Otherwise, we'll be around.
Yeah, do stop by. I'll buy you a drink or food if you don't want to drink or whatever, you know.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I might. It depends on what the. I don't want to.
Right.
To Jarl. Yeah. It's
Okay.
right.
Like I said, depending on how this goes, how long it takes, if you have time, and if it is, you know, something you can do, then that's where we'll be.
Of course. And thank you for everything that you've done for me and Terrell, and I will try to see you at least tomorrow to give you a proper thanks. But
Of course. And it was lovely to meet you. And Terrell.
yeah. Thanks.
Okay then.
Well, it's been an honor, and
The Jarl will tell you all. Come back tomorrow, and we'll make sure that you're compensated. I have something for all of you, and I think for you, points at Talami, we did talk about something special. So
Bouncing up and down, like barely containing the excitement.
So as everybody's leaving, Sten's going to linger behind to the last, and as everybody's gone outside, he's going to turn around. He's going to cast thaumaturgy on himself, on his eyes, which will glow slightly. And he says, "Y'all, remember, the gods are watching." Gesture at the thieves of the the long haul. May your discussions be fruitful before the eyes of Lear. And then he'll turn and leave with a suspicious look over his shoulder.
I love Sten.
What is he talking about?
After Sten leaves, the Earl will look at Hervor and say, "Did he just try to intimidate me?" And that's where we're gonna close for this series on Thrones and Bones.
We're all alive.
Oh,
We made it.
we were permitted.
Man, I was trying to get killed at the end there.
Yeah, just like 20 arrows strike you as you.
As the
I
party
barely made
walks
it.
down the hill.
A very Boromir moment.
No.
Don't you?
Oh, I
It's
was
like
thinking.
Yeah, thank you so much to everyone who stopped by and watched us. And please, if you are interested in the campaign itself, links are in chat, and I believe in the description of the YouTube video if you're watching the VOD, of the fantastic campaign setting and the adventures by Lou Anders and friends. If you are interested in running this for your own home group, I highly recommend it, of course. And let's do signups for everybody. We'll start at the top of the dial with good old Dave.
Hi, I'm Dave. I apparently write for role-playing game supplements now too, so there's that going on. But otherwise, I'd remind everybody who, if we've got any UK watchers, there's I write a plot for a LARP called Empire LARP in the UK, and that's running at the end of the month. So if you like to play some role-playing games with 1,000 other people, please come to Empire, and I'll pass the ball down to Talami because we're going around clockwise.
Nice.
Hi, I'm on Twitter at Fanatic, but I also stream on Thursday nights, The Witch Beyond the Wildlight, on Thursdays on twitch.tv/Indigo Chameleon. That is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. And then
Oh, and I sorry, Alta. I forgot I was gonna.
Cool, that's me. Hi, I'm Altamirage. You can find me literally everywhere as Altamirage. I'm an artist. I do art, a lot of character design, D&D art, that sort of stuff. My commissions are open. My cat needs to go to the vet. Please commission me. Hit me up. You can see my art at Twitter at Altamirage Art. I'm very creative. I'll go ahead and pass it on to Will. Yeah.
What up? It's Will, aka Neckbone. You can find me at Twitter, Neckbone93. And then you can also find me here on Twitch with Neckbone with a 3 as the E. You know, I play in D&D on Monday nights typically with Gambit. So that's Gambit.Twitch something. You can check my channel out for links and stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pass it over to my boy Alex.
Hey, yo, that's me. I'm his boy Alex. You can catch me on Tuesdays playing Empire of the Ghouls with Friday and Kenzie, both. And you can catch me on Twitter at ActorFeet, as well as TikTok under the same handle. And with that being said, I'm going to kick it off to my good friend Kenzie.
I can hit
Unmute
unmute
yourself.
buttons really good. I'm really good at that. Hi, my name's Mackenzie Hahn, and I like to play D&D, specifically here on Kobold Press, and specifically on Tuesdays for Empire of the Ghoul. For 3 p.m. onwards, come join us for a little Midgard action in the Kobold Press setting. It's going to be rad. But you can find me, if that's not your shtick, on Instagram and Twitter at Kenzie the Han. As well as most places around the internet. That's all for me, folks. Friday. You want to bring it all in? Group huddle?
Yeah.
Ready, break?
Yeah, you can see my link on Twitter. Yeah, thanks for watching. It was great. Okay, bye.
It's
Bye-bye
been
now.
fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Au revoir.